I am Professor Vinster. Welcome to Jurplastic World. I'm going to make a socket to put these eyes in. So what I do is I burn into it. Is that up? This is my catfish. It's pretty white, so it shows up pretty white, but the eye goes right there. Yeah, so much light. Crazy light, crazy light. Turn this on, turn it up high, and turn this baby on. All right, it's heating up. Now, if you see the tip of this, can't see you. Back it up a bit. There we go. It's got kind of a flat tip on it. See what kind of heat we got. There we go. Now this is the eye that's in the actual piece is bulging out, so you could paint it if you really wanted to. But I don't like doing that. I like to put the glass eyes in. Piece of my beard. There you go. We're getting to the heat now. Like I said, you probably can't see this. I want to make it go down to about flush. And if I can avoid actually making a hole in it, it'd be even better. That's good. Well, move it out. Take your time, you won't put a hole in it. Okay, there we go. A little bit. There, push it a bit. And we managed to do it without making a hole. Right there. Twisting the arm. There we go. Yeah, that's cool. Turn this thing off. This thing's great. It also attaches to a Dremel. So if you felt like you wanted to go out in the backyard and on a nice day instead of being inside doing a project, you could go out in the backyard. I want to watch where I put this thing so I don't melt my mouse. I'm actually going to do this kind of upside down. Ooh, my coffee. Put that over there. Stay there. Need my coffee. Okay, this is cold weld. It's just like an epoxy, but you can use any kind of epoxy you want. I want to put enough epoxy that it's going to make when I push the eye into it, kind of squeezes out a bit to make it look like it's bulging a bit. A lot of the other fish, it's more like you want to make kind of a socket for it. But catfish always look like their eyes are kind of bulging. And sometimes they have a very small eye. Get that out of there. There's a part A and part B. Oh, there you go. cold weld rosin. It's kind of harder to do it on this camera. Sometimes it's easier for me when I'm messing around. It makes a good video, but also makes it easier on me to do a project and do it comfortably. I mean, I like to show how I do things, but I also want to be comfortable. If you're not comfortable, you're going to do a lousy job, which I am going to do this upside down. So hopefully this doesn't turn into a mess, which I doubt it. It should be fine. Put enough of this on it. Like that. Okay, so I'll show you down there like that. We're going to take the eye. It's right there. There's the eye. And we're going to push it in like that. And you push it in so it bulges around. That's good. That's good. Hope you can see that okay. Alrighty. Oh, we got some extras here. This stuff's pretty good at smoothing itself out. It's self-leveling. So if you want to make a bit of a eyelid, keep forgetting how far away this camera is. So there it is there. So it doesn't look great right now, but it'll be fine. There we go. Starting to look like a catfish. See if I bring it back here. There we go. Looks like a catfish. And also everything on this camera is backwards compared to what I'm doing. So there we go. So once that dries up, I'll be able to shape around it. It's pretty tacky drying up, so it won't go anywhere. Looks pretty good. If I can direct it properly here to, yeah, the white really reflects off. Doesn't help you see with the camera that well. Excuse me. Yeah. And if you can, I don't know, you can't probably hear because I got these headphones on, but there's a printer. Printer's going behind us right now, and it's doing the other side of this head. It should look pretty good. Actually, I was looking at a few pictures. If I could do this like a yellow catfish or an albino catfish, it would really be cool. I'm back here again. This is the catfish. It's getting bigger. Now, when you make actual prints like this and they're hollow, because they do flex in a way where they're getting printed, they can vary a bit. See the gap there? They can vary. I fill some of the gaps with glue. That's just the way it is when it goes. I mean, it's a pretty big fish. So yeah, so that's why I use a lot of filler and stuff like that. But then you go around and clean it up, fill it up, fill it in. This is actually pretty neat. Come on, pretty good. Like that's wild. Now inside there, you can see where it joins down to the back. But I'll putty that. You won't see that after I paint it. Same with here. Like I said, there's a bit of a gap there, but just for the reason of when you're printing something high like that. Uh, there you go. Like yeah, or they're upside down catfish. Yeah. So I mean, it's a bit of work. That's a pretty neat fish. And then I'll put the other eye in. Same idea. Yeah. I don't do the models on fine because I do the work after. So I mean, some guys would want this to come off the plate perfectly, but it's not going to the way I print them. It's because they're hollow, so they're light. I don't want something that's heavy I can't lift, or it's not going to hang on the wall properly, or hang on the driftwood. It's going to be heavy, and besides, if it does fall, you got a better chance of it when it's hollow to bounce than it does to hit the floor harder because it's heavier and then shatter. Because that's what would happen. So I'm quite happy with it. Yeah, it's going to be neat. It's blocking my view again. I use this rasp. Actually levels pretty nicely. The spots join together. Together pretty good. You can see where, it looks a lot better. It's joined better. I'm all covered in. That's what this is. This is for my cell phone. Cell phone goes in here because I take pictures while I'm doing the projects, so it's all available. Cell phone takes amazing pictures. All my videos are mostly done with that cell phone. And if you make the the actual layer thick enough, yeah, you got a lot to work with. And to be honest with you, if it came out perfect, I'm a body man by trade. Do body work on cars, paint cars from when I was probably 18, as I started driving. I started driving at 18. Didn't feel I was ready. So anyway, was driving before that, back in the car up in the driveway, all that kind of stuff, but to get my license. Anyway, but bodywork is my background, so put a little bit of bodywork into this. It makes it mine, you know, makes it a lot better. Makes me feel like I've accomplished something. So yeah, so now we're actually pretty good. You can see there, that's actually looking really good. And the glue that I use a super glue with a kicker. I showed the bottle, and I think of one of the pictures. And yeah, it works really well with the stuff. Problem is, I really can't get into where you get it or how you get it, or because I pick it up at my local hobby shop. Uh, Now they get it brought in because it's considered a dangerous chemical or stuff like that. Like a day, yeah. So it's not as if you can have it delivered by Amazon to your house. To me, it works, and the kicker actually works with the Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue, by the time you buy it from the stores, will cost you a lot more than going into your local hobby shop and asking for their super glue with a kicker. And when you're putting models together, I put this back, these two parts. Actually, there's four parts here, but I put the two parts together, and then I put the two sides of the head together, and then I put two sides of the body together, and then I put them, I place them on top of each other to start to get the build. But if you're using the super glue and you're going to put a unit together that big to another piece that big, and you put it on, you better be darn well quick, because if you're not, you'll never pull those two pieces apart again. You're going to break part of the, the print because it will not break on the glue line. It will pull something else apart. So I take the bigger parts and put epoxy in, and that also will fill the gap. So you're safer with epoxy, or you can use like a construction caulking if you want. You can move it around for a while longer. I don't prefer that because it stays rubbery, and if you actually want to go around and burn the edges with the burning tool, the only problem is with the burning tool. After you glue it with the hot gun, you better wear goggles and you better wear face protect or respiratory protection because if that burns, you see a smoke coming out, it burns your eyes, it burns your nose, and who knows what it'll do in the long run. So you want to play it safe. So watch what you do, watch the materials you use, and think ahead. So it wouldn't be a bad idea. And I don't just wear a mask. That's silly because first of all, I have a beard, so I wear a full head one that goes around my beard so that it's tight. And also one that has a vent in the back, where you can have the charcoal vents in the side. But you gotta wear it. You have to wear it. You can't mess around. Even though PLA is supposed to be non-toxic, no one said when you burn it at a higher temperature what it can do. So be safe. Same with painting. Doing all your painting. See, there's the gap there, but actually it's almost to the point where it's full. That you won't even notice after. That'll glide right over. So, and that's like I said in the printing. When you print that, it sits on the bottom, but that's fine. But doesn't mean that it's always going to be perfect, especially when you're dealing with temperatures, especially when you're dealing with plastic, heating and cooling, and when it heats, it expands. When it cools, it contracts. So and it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good for what it is. I mean, for what I'm doing with it, it's great. And the part that's more exposed, of course, you want to make sure that the part that's more exposed is better. So you're talking the sides. So you want to make sure that they're a little better than say the underneath. Or all depends though. See, if you have this thing up in the sky, up in the air, say in a tackle shop or something like that, and it's hanging from the ceiling, well, what are you going to see more? You're going to see the belly. So, I mean, it all depends. And so your best bet is to make it as it's 3D. So make it 3D. So, I mean, that camera is right there, but I'm looking at me. That drives me nuts. Why am I looking at me? I ain't the, I ain't no pretty dude. I'll tell you that. So, I mean, actually, kind of scary looking. But anyway, that's the deal. And we're going to wait for the next piece, and we're going to do the same thing. And I don't know. I don't think I'm going to show you the eye being put on again. At the beginning of the video, the guy, I did the eye. It's one of the first things I did. So I think I'll just put this eye on when you guys aren't looking. Yeah, that way, if I screw it up, you don't know. No, I don't usually do that. If I screw it up, I'll tell you. I mean, it's no big deal. It's part of what you do. If you screw something up, man, it just means you're learning. I'm telling you, it's all about learning. I got a friend. He's from the States, and he's a great guy. His name's Mark. He's a follower of mine, and I met him on another channel. Now we have a channel of our own. We've only got a few people on it, but it's called Be Free. Um, oh boy, it's called. Yeah, so it's a little channel where there's other people on it too, like friends of mine and friends of others that they don't have a 3D printer, but they like watching what I do. So I I invited them to come along because there's no better fun than showing your stuff. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's one thing to make your stuff and be proud of it, but it's also really cool if other people like to see it and people enjoy to see it. And I have a lot of friends that do. I've got a cousin that's in Seattle, and he gets me to send him some stuff that I print. And he's my cousin, so I take care of him. And he's a great guy, and he's into some history stuff. So I send him some stuff, and he paints it himself. So I mean, we'll be looking forward to some of the stuff that he paints that I've done a video of already. And then once he paints it, I'll show I'll show it on there what he's done, if he'll let me. I'm hoping he'll let me. He watches these, so Chris, you better let me after you paint this. That's going to put a little bit of pressure on him because he's going to have to do a good job painting it. But you know what? Whatever job he does, that's the way it is, and he wants to do it and he likes to do it, so he's gonna do it. So and the same with the I sent him some bells. I don't know the history. He's the history guy, so I don't really know. I mean, they're on my site, but he did a really nice paint job on them, and he's got the interest in it. So hopefully, we sent out the package to him the other day. Uh, it's I'm not even going to say what it is right now because I want him to finish it, and then we'll show it as finished somehow in one of my videos. So yeah. So anyway, the printer's printing, and it's printing the next part. I'm not going crazy printing the parts all too fast. I'm going to print them at my speed where I can apply them and do videos between them so that we can do this up. So enough of my talking. New part will be coming very soon, which it will be in 1 second, I hope. I think you can tell by how tall it is. The next piece is put on. There we go. Not too bad. There we go. It's right out of the screen now. It's getting bigger. All right. Alrighty. So all the back tail pieces for the catfish. They need to be sanded up and then put together. Okay, I'm gonna mix up some 5-minute epoxy generously. I don't know if you can see that. Yabba dabba doo. Put that in there. I want enough so that it fills in does a good bond. This stuff's not cheap, but I'd rather have a good bond. There we go. So we'll mix that up. Yeah, it's just an old mix that up. Not exactly what I call rocket science, but the professor can handle it. Alrighty. So we're gonna actually put that piece. Well, we're gonna put that out of the way for a sec. I'm gonna bring this one over because it's the one that stands up better. And then we're gonna apply this generously, closer to the edges. The reason I use epoxy is because if I use the hot glue, I don't have much time, which I've said in some videos. Probably this video I've already mentioned it because it is so important. Oops. Or you could spill it on the floor, which Mrs. Vinster can't stand it. Well, she doesn't say too much. I usually get it off the floor. Usually let it dry first. Anything that, even paint, you're better off. I was a carpet cleaner. Did carpet cleaning for years too. My own business. But whenever you spill something, you'll let it dry. Because if you don't, you're going to make more of a mess of it. And once it's dry, it's easier to work with. Now, I don't know how good
you guys can see this, but this is going to go here. And because I've used epoxy, I have time to work with it. And I'm going to go to this side and find out exactly what... This could get crazy. It's quite the angle. But we will follow the contours and we will get it. And you know what's good for this? If you had two hands available. Which, when I see, what I usually do is get myself in a predicament where I'm trying to do everything. Because you imagine holding on to a camera stand. That's why they make knees. Okay, there we go. So I ripped that off through the knees there. You probably can't see that because the camera's not down there, or it might be. But I got everything together. Okay, so that helps. Then I can put this like this for a second. Well, maybe maybe I'll support it this way. There we go. There we go. There we go. 5-minute epoxy. Gives you more than enough time, especially if you can find the end of the tape. Alright. Then we're going to put this tight there. Push that against there. That'll give us a good... There we go. See? Not too bad. No panicking. No sense in panicking. Doesn't get you anywhere. Alright. And this side we're going to pull in. Actually, what we can do, we really want to get technical here. Technical, yeah. Put that like that. We'll put that like that so that the seam. Okay, now, what we can do, if I can find it, there it is right there. Take some hot glue and just put it in the seam. And how much is in this jar? I have no idea, but it should be enough to do it. There we go. So we put on generously there. And in this can right here we have kicker. So we can kick it. Spread it around a little bit, that's fine. But that'll keep it in its place. Get a bit of a gap there. But it's actually pretty good. And we can move it a little bit there. Not bad, not bad. Now when you're printing something this big, like I said before in the video, as it's printing, you got to remember, it's printing up. This is getting more vulnerable to being flipped over, like and maybe losing its size a bit. So we can deal with that. A lot of people can't deal with that. I mean, I have techniques that can fix it. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put some more hot glue right in here. I call it hot glue because, man, if you get this on your finger and you hit it with a kicker, it's hot. It's a hot. It's like taking that pepper, putting it into that soup and saying, oh, I can handle that. Guess what? You thought you could, but you can't. And we'll put some more here. This will keep it together. Come on. Got a refill. I buy a bigger one of these, and then I add the refill. Refills, it's cheaper. This is spray I just started trying. I've got another one that I have that's a liquid right there. That one there. It works really well too. So that's got that. So we're on our way to success. This part hooks to the rest of the fish. Now, this one here, I'm going to be able to get away with the actual quick set glue because it's not as big and it'll bond crazy. So we're going to do that because I got enough room to hold on to it. Now, I've glued myself to these things before, which is not fun, but it's okay. And you think you got it removed, you put it under hot water and you remove the glue, and guess what? Yeah, you removed it alright, but it took the skin. So it does take the skin. And I get a little bit, but I still got some epoxy on my hands from before. Now this stuff here, I don't know how much is in there, but there, it sprays like that. Now that should actually bond it to the point where I can actually turn it. Yeah. Now this side will have to be done. There's a little bit of a gap there, but it's okay. And again, spray generously. Don't want to mess around, and you can hold it tight. And I think that's what we're going to get out of it. That's exactly what we got. So that's good. Now, normally I'd have some rag around here, but I don't. So now we're going to go pre-fit the tail. Now the tail needs a bit of sand. Grab a piece of sandpaper. Probably pretty loud. And then we'll pre-fit it. See how that does. Not bad. Not bad at all. So we're going to put that down here. Pretty sure. Let me check around to see if the camera's got this good. Where are we? We're not bad. Okay, hold it with the knees. There we go. Dust. Oh, by the way, this is the new camera. If anybody's been following me, I'm hoping I get some good followers. I do have a lot of fun doing this, and hopefully people like what I do. I might be low on glue. It's actually not good. So we're gonna take the big bottle. Not that I do it like this usually, but because this is my refill bottle, but I'm gonna use this. Yep. This is my refill bottle. Oh, squeezing so hard I'm shaking. Come on. Come on. Come on. And it's going to make a monkey out of me. Okay, so that's why I don't use this bottle, because it usually has a small hole in it. Take enough off of it. Does that give me enough? Don't know. Let's find out. There we go. So this will get me by. Doesn't help when you rub it in either. The tip. I have to clean the tip off before I put it away. And we'll put that on there. And we can get away with it. Oop. I just glued my finger to it. There we go. There we go. Now, if it's not perfect, you want to try to get it as best as you can. And spray this stuff on. Doesn't take long for that stuff to kick in. Presto. There you go. Not bad. Not bad. Do a little more over here. There we go. So, I don't know how we're seeing here, but there's your tail. That's pretty wild. Pretty wild. And then the rest of the catfish, holy mackerel, this thing's going to be huge. It's going to be pretty wild. Alright, we'll lay her down there. And that should be enough. I got another bottle of this. This stuff in Canada, at your local hobby shop, if they carry it, it's 59 bucks. 8 ounces. So it's, to me, it's a really good deal. And by the time you buy this little bottle, it doesn't make really much sense. But it's always nice to buy the bottle first. I have different size bottles, and there's actually different size, or different kinds. This one here is it's a little bit it's a medium, and this one's thick. And then up here I've got one that's thin. This one here is wicked to use because it goes everywhere. So you got to be prepared. So if you're putting it in a spot where you need it to flow well, then you would use that one. Hopefully I got them lined up okay there. So now here's the other part of the catfish. So what we're going to get ready here would be a good idea. Get some tape ready. Who knows how this will plan out. So what I want to do is we're going to take this guy here without busting his whiskers off, and we're going to put him on the chair. Put him right there, or try to. We don't want him to fall down. We don't want to bust off the whiskers. Also, we're going to pre-fit the tail. So now I don't know, can I get away with this with the hot glue? I think I can. I think he just came all the way over to the camera. I think the tail just came all the way over. So we're going to have to do our best. So we're going to put that right there. Right there. And my nose is, I was out in the cold today. We decided to, well, we didn't decide. The weather decided we were going to get some snow. And I had to go pick up some pills for the father-in-law. So we had to venture out in the snow. So it's never fun. Alright, so we're going to give this a shot. Hopefully the video works. Okay, so there we go. And we're going to put that like that. Now we don't have much time. So we got to get this as close as we can. See that part there has to, and we're going to be in the way of the camera. Okay, so it's getting sticky. Getting sticky. Maybe I should have did epoxy, but we're going to give it a shot. Ah, I'm stuck. I'm stuck to it. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Oh, we're not sticking yet. We got to get this so it's good. Even if I could hold it for a minute. But I'm stuck to it on the other side. So I don't want to be off. Come on, come on. Please, please, please. Let's do this. Come on. Let's not screw this up. Oh, that's not good. We'll try. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. Oh, come on. If my head's in the way, I apologize. Okay, we're going to hit this with some kicker. We're going to hope for the best. There we go. Now hopefully this thing doesn't flip over like it did a minute ago. It did pretty good, actually. Now I can't move that, so I'm going to reach over here. Grab this stuff here, give it a spray. So I'm looking really good, and it looks like it took a lot out of me, I'll tell you that. There, okay, without reaching and busting everything off, there we go. There's the tail. There she is. And I don't know if you can see that, but that's one wicked fish. Wow. 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 I don't even know how to put this here so that we can, whoa, this is awkward. This is awkward. Yeah. I'll end up busting something off. Let's hope not. What are we going to do? Let's baby upside down. Okay. Stay. Stay. There we go. Wow. That was a pile of work. No, it's not an upside down catfish, it's a whale's catfish. But right now it's an upside down catfish. Okay. Wow. Now my arm in the way here. Because I don't want my arm to be in the way. This is very, very, very wild. I don't know if you can see that. I'm hoping it's working out because I can't see the camera at the same time. But that's him so far. Or her. Not sure. But anyway. Turn the light that way a bit. Okay, we'll put her or him back on the table. We're going to go with the upside down thing again here. There we go. Alrighty. Alrighty. I'm not going to go on with the painting of it. I'll do that in another video where I want to prime it, prepare it, make it really nice, and some driftwood and some other fish with it. So I want to make it more into a diorama. So you have to wait for a part 2, which shouldn't be that much longer. So anyway, next video is coming up. Watch it and stay tuned for this next one. There's going to be a lot more. There's actually a few other videos I'm working on right now with some different fish that are going to blow your mind too. And anyway, next video coming up. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.